We are here at the 48th Annual March for Life, and I am with the president of March for Life, Jeanne Mancini. Jeanne, could you just share a little bit about what has made this year's March unique and still so powerful?
Right. So this year it was more of a somber march, I think, as we're at somewhat of a cultural crossroads, I would say, in terms of building a culture of life. We encouraged most marchers to stay home and to participate virtually, either through prayer or in different ways. And we had a smaller group of leaders who marched with us today. It was a very quiet march. We were prayerful. We were carrying the rose, which I still have with me, which is our logo and is a sign of life. So it was a beautiful march. Like many things over this past year, it was down to the basics and most simple.
Well, it is beautiful to see so many people gathered here today. It's chilly in DC, it's very cold. But could you just comment on why this is such a critical time for the pro-life movement?
Sure. Well, for starters, just in terms of policy-wise, we are working sadly against what is likely the most pro-abortion administration in history. So just yesterday, the Biden-Harris administration rescinded the Protecting Life and Global Health Assistance Act, unfortunately. And even though that 77% of Americans don't want their taxpayer funding going for abortions overseas. So that's just the start of what I think we're going to be facing these next 4 years. But even more than that, right now we're seeing violence in our culture. We're in the middle of a pandemic. There's all sorts of things happening, and we're doing everything we can possibly do to build a culture of life, a culture of love, just in terms of our actions and our respect for people, etc.
Yeah, well, we certainly thank you for your work. It's such a blessing to see people still gathered out here. What is your message for Americans right now, for the pro-lifers across the country? That is such a growing group that's encouraging to see.
It is so true. You know, everybody has something to offer to the pro-life movement, to building a culture of life. There's a great quote, "You can do what I can't do, I can do what you can't do, but together we can do great things." Our theme this year is Together Strong, Life Unites. We need to lock arms, bring our collective gifts to the table, so to speak, and do our very best to build a culture where people are respected and loved and dialogue is welcomed, etc.
Jeanne Mancini, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss new content from the Daily Signal.